Hello, this is Marky2200 and welcome to my Need for Speed testing series. Today we're going to be ranking all the tier 3 cars from worst to best based on their previous results on the previous tests. So they've all achieved a result on the lap time test, the acceleration test and the top speed test. And on every single result they acquired some points. So on those points we're going to rank them on the total amount of points that they've got. The points system for each of the tests will be in the description down below. And well, this is going to be quite interesting. Before we start the ranking, I do have to say there are two cars in this championship that you have to take with a grain of salt, and I will mention this once we are at those cars. As always, the ranking itself is on the top left and the total points the car has gotten is on the top right. Without further ado, let's see which of the tier 3 cars is the absolute worst of the worst, and that is at number 16 we have the Chevrolet C2 Corvette. It only was able to score a total of 6 points, 2 points in the handling test by becoming 15th, 0 points in acceleration test by becoming 16th, and 4 points in the top speed test by becoming 12th. Not a great start for this car. At number 15 we have the Ford Mustang GT, which managed to score 9 points, 4 points, 3 points and 2 points respectively. So this Mustang, again, not a car that I would generally consider using anyway, not even before the test, but there we go. At number 14 we have another modern muscle car, the Dodge Charger SRT8, which scored 17 points. Quite a gap from the previous one. 6 points in the handling test, 6 points in acceleration test and 5 points in the top speed test, which is decent but quite something. Number 13, the first car that you have to take with a grain of salt because it scored most of its points with the top speed test. It was crap at handling test, crap at acceleration test, and it was very good at the top speed test. However, I wouldn't pick this car just because of the high top speed. So that is that. Number 12 we have the Evo 10, which scored 21 points, 8 points, 5 points and 8 points respectively. This is actually what I would say below average, and however it scored some good amount of points in all of the categories, so that is a more fair approach. At number 11 we have the classic Charger, which scored 22 points. It actually did well in the handling test, scoring 12 points. Acceleration test was decent and the top speed test not so great. Keep in mind though, like I said in the previous episode, the top speeds of these cars are very close to each other, with the exception of just one car, which is, well, the second car you have to take with a grain of salt. However, we'll come to that in a minute. So the championship points for the top speed still has to be divided. However, if a car has got a great top speed but is not so great everywhere else, like the Evo 9, it is not a car that I would generally consider using because the top speed is so close. Number 9, the Audi TT, which did exceptionally well in the handling test, decent everywhere else, so okay-ish. Number 8, Toyota Supra, 33 points, scored 14 points in the handling test, 9 points in acceleration test and 10 points in top speed test. This car is overall average of the bunch. It is decent, not the car that I would pick for competitive racing, but there you are. At number 7 we have our collector's edition car, the Porsche Cayman S, which scored 34 points. Again, it scored a decent amount of points everywhere in each category, so this is a great example of the average car. Coming at number 6 we have the Nissan 370Z. I will say that from this point out, all the cars that you see are worth taking in my opinion. The Nissan 370Z scoring a good amount of points in each of the categories. It is above average, so there you are. At number 5, the second car you have to take with a grain of salt because the Renault Megane Coupe did great in the handling test, great in acceleration test. However, it did absolutely terrible at the top speed test, only maximizing at 282 kilometers an hour, which is extremely poor. So this car is great on any track that doesn't feature a long straight or a highway. If it does, don't use the Renault Megane. At number 4 we have the Mazda RX-7, which is one of the 3 cars that actually scored exactly 55 points. So we have a 3-way tie from number 4 to number 2. However, why did I pick the Mazda RX-7 to be number 4? Because although it did exceptionally good at the top speed test being first, it was average everywhere else. So you'll definitely do great with this car. However, because it only achieved 6 in the lap time test, I put it at number 4. At number 3 we have the best car you can choose from the pink slips, the Dodge Challenger, with again 55 points, 4th in the handling test, 2nd in acceleration test, and 9th in the top speed test. However, like I said previously, apart from the Renault Megane, the top speeds are very close to each other, so I wouldn't pick my cars based on the top speeds. Like I said previously, this is the best pink slip car you can win from the, what was it, the second tournament. At number 2 we have the Chevrolet Chevelle SS, which of the 3 has the best lap time. It got 2nd in the handling test, scoring 40 points, 4th in the acceleration test, scoring 14 points, and the top speed was not too great. However, the difference in top speed between the Chevelle and the Challenger is only 12 kilometers an hour. So the Chevelle achieved 310 kilometers an hour and the Challenger 322, which is actually not that huge of a difference. Chevelle definitely the best of the bunch. However, at number 1 it was pretty much unsurprising with the Nissan Skyline with a whopping 95 points, scoring 50 points in the handling test, 25 points in acceleration test, and 20 points in the top speed test. This car has been more dominant in the tier 3 class than the Volkswagen Scirocco in the tier 4 class. The Skyline got a triple podium, which the Volkswagen Scirocco didn't. So 95 points. If you haven't used this car in Undercover, it is by far easily the best car in tier 3 racing. So that's all I can say. However, I still stand with what I said in the lap time test video. The Chevelle is the most fun to use. And there we are. Tier 3 concluded. Not too surprising, I have to say. And I am genuinely excited for tier 2, because tier 2 are the cars that, well, I want to say are getting very competitive, very fast, and there are some of my favorite cars in Undercover in tier 2, so that is something that I am genuinely looking forward to. However, this has been it for the tier 3 cars and this video. If you've liked this video, consider it a thumbs up. If you wish to stay updated on all my future videos, consider subscribing. And that is that. This has been Marky 2200, and I hope to see you guys in the next testing video, which will be all tier 2 cars ranked from worst to best based on a lap time. See you then.